Hello everybody, this is I Love Create School. My name's Olga Pilik. In this video lesson, we are going to crochet such a bag. It is a middle-sized bag, we can say so, and it has such leather accessories, handles, such side loops here. This is a kit. Yeah, this all goes like a kit. Here you can also add a side if you like, leather side I mean, and then I have such a zipper on a leather accessory, and if you like you can also add a long handle, a thin long handle, or a wide long handle. It also looks quite nice. So at once let's measure the bag. Here I have 30.5 centimeters, and the height will be, let's measure it like this, 24 centimeters, and the width I'll measure the bottom, 14 centimeters. So, and now let's speak about the materials for this bag. For this bag we will need 3 skeins of cord. Here I'm going to use polyester cord, Mati Macrame, 3 millimeters from Shikimiki Studio. It has 135 meters, 250 grams, and here I'm going to use color. This is its number, 210. It's number of the color, and this one I made in such a nut color. So 3 skeins is enough, and even I had some leftovers because I have changed several times, and I have made less than 1/3 of a skein left. And additionally, according to the materials, we will need such a leather kit. You can of course buy it all separately, or you can buy it as a kit like I did. Here we will need such side straps, or you can even do without them, it's optional, but we will need for sure short handles, 38 centimeters, that have such metal squares. Then a zipper, 25 centimeter by 6 centimeters. Here you have 6 centimeters in width. Also I have added inside a canvas. It's a plastic canvas to make bottom of the bag. You see, it's like it has its shape, so it is such nice standing on the surface with such nice shape. I was using such plastic canvas. I just had one for the bag that I haven't used, and I have just cut the size I needed. So I needed 30 to 12 centimeters. I just cut it from a bigger one. And now when we will just make the base, we will measure it and sew it with a darning needle to the base, and thus make such a strong bottom. We will also need some lining for fabric, and then we will need a longer shoulder strap, but it's optional, and crocheting hook 4 millimeters. And of course you might need some knitting markers and lighter to melt the ends of the cord, but this is optional. So this is the kit that comes with this bag. Kit for this bag, it's 38 centimeters short handle, then 2 such side straps, and they can be sewn on both sides, yeah, like this with a buckle, and this zipper. It has 25 centimeters length and 6 centimeters in width. We will sew it into the bag, and if you want, you can also add a long shoulder strap. So our bag is going to be made not top bottom but in width. So we will be working like this. We start on the side and the sides as well. Here I will show you. Here we have a little secret. that we make sides as a triangle that is narrower here on top, so that it has such an interesting shape. So all this pattern is worked alongside, yeah, not bottom to top, but the side from one side to another side. So for all the surface we need to cast on the loops. First I melt the end like this to stop the card from fraying. And so we cast on 86 chains. When I have cast on 86 chains, I recommend you to count them again. Make sure, because you will lose much more time if you will have to undo it and cast on again. So better check yourself. Now the first preparative row, we need to make 85 single crochets. So skip the first one, insert the hook into the next one after it, under the upper half loop like this. Skip one and insert the hook into the next one under the upper half loop. Pull the working thread like this and pull it through. Now you have 2 loops on the hook, right? So you make a yarn over and work them 2 together. And so we make the next stitch. In the next stitch we are making next single crochet, and so we go working 1 single crochet in each next stitch. Insert the hook under the upper half loop, pull the working thread, pull it through and make 2 together, so that you do not have openings, such holes between the stitches. When you insert the hook into this half loop, you pull this loop a little bit into the diagonal so that it is a little bit longer than the one on the hook. You can see now that this one is longer than the one on the hook, almost 2 times. And then you work 2 together. Then you have such nice puffy stitch that looks like heart shape. And then you tighten this one, the loop on the hook you tighten, and it will make your pattern rather tight. You will not have such a soft and work that has a lot of holes in it. So go on like this till the end of this row. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and so till the end of the row you work in total 85 single crochets. Now then you have made 85 single crochets in this row. So how can we count them? How can we make sure that we have made the right amount? So you can count on top here. This will be the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 30. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. That's 40. And so like this, I'm going to count it on camera, so you can count it like this. And this is the 85th, this one, not the one on the hook, but the one that's here. Now we make a chain, turn our work, that is the wrong side now we are facing. And so the pattern looks like this. We make a yarn over on the hook and insert the hook into the first, pay attention, into the first opening here. And work all 3 loops on the hook together. That is a half double crochet. Then we make a slip stitch, we insert it into the next under both half loops, pull the working thread and pull it at once through the loop on the hook. That's a slip stitch. See? So the pattern, this one is the right side. This is the wrong side. Again, we make a yarn over, insert the hook in the next and make a half double crochet, work all 3 together. By the way, this bag can be made rather loosely, so you don't have to work it tight. That's why I'm using number 4 millimeters. I don't make it tight here, no, neither too loose, but so its shape is like this, so you can make it rather loose. When you have this bottom, which we will make stronger with plastic canvas. Again, you make a single crochet, a slip stitch, that is, here through the loop on the hook at once. Again, insert the hook in the next one and work a half double crochet, that is 3 together. Then insert the hook and pull it through the loop at once. Yarn over, half double crochet, and then a slip stitch directly through the loop on the hook. So we will get such interesting bumpy patterns, so to say. Again, yarn over, insert the hook and 3 together. Insert the hook, make a slip stitch through the loop on the hook at once. And so like this, go on working till the end of the row. At the end of the row we will finish with a half double crochet. Then we will count it again. It's going to be exactly half of the amount of stitches, that is 43. And so we alternate it like this, a half double crochet and a slip stitch, a half double crochet and a slip stitch. When you have reached this row, here I have made a slip stitch and you see that I have left 1 stitch left till the end of the row. So here I will make a half double crochet. So this row is ready. You can turn it to the right side. Count again. You will have 43 such pieces, such half double crochets actually, yeah. So you can count them: 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40. 1, 2, 3, 43 repeats. And so we come back, turn our work. Yeah, first of course make a chain, yeah, like this, then turn your work. And in the next row we will be making again ordinary single crochets, but starting with this third row, all the uneven numbered rows, we will be making the single crochets into the back half loop to make this pattern even more relief. So here is the first loop. We insert it into the first under the back half loop here. Pull the working thread and make a single crochet. Yeah, 2 loops together, that is a single crochet. And so we insert it in each next stitch into the back half loop and go on working till the end of the row. Here you will get again 85 single crochets. Here you don't have to count them, because if you have already counted them before, then you can count it after you have finished by these upper braids. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So till the end of this row you work single crochets. Now I'm finishing this row. That's stitch number 84 and 85. Make a chain, and again in the fourth row we repeat the pattern of half double crochets and slip stitches. This is our chain that we have just made, so we make a yarn over, insert the hook right into the first stitch here and make a half double crochet. In the next, make again slip stitch, then again a half double crochet, a slip stitch, and again half double crochet, and so we alternate it. So these nice fine bumpy stitches are exactly one above the other. If you see that they have shifted, it means that you have skipped some stitch, something is wrong, so make sure they are all one strictly above the other. And we alternate a half double crochet and a slip stitch, half double crochet and a slip stitch, and so till the end of this row. A slip stitch and then a half double crochet, and so on. And so we finish this fourth row with a half double crochet, make a chain, turn your work, and in the fifth row again we make single crochets into the back half loop till the end of the row, starting with the first stitch. Insert the hook into each next stitch and make a single crochet into the back half loop. So like this, we just go on alternating these two types of rows. And to make it easier for you to count, we need to make 22 repeats of such rows. When you make one row with a pattern and the next one just single crochets, then you can count it like this and you will have the finished base. So how to join the cord if you run out of it and you need to start a new one? First, you need to pull the needle through the 4 loops that you have at the edge of your free end using this one. So like this, you have closed one end. Now you need to take the free end that we have left on the other side. Also take some maybe short pieces that come off like this. Then you need to find one last cord, insert it into the darning needle, cut this short end, and likewise you have to insert it into the darning needle and to fix all 4 loops to stop it from fraying. Insert it through 4 loops, and then you have to sew these 2 ends together using the same thread. I make a stitch into one free end, upper let's say, and then I make a stitch into the lower free end. And so like this I make several stitches between them to fix it, and like this to start seamlessly a new cord. And then the lower one. So like this you can make 3-4 times in the round and then just fix it and cut the thread. Make a knot. Then I hide it right inside this cord, like this. That's it. Cut the thread which I was using, and now we see that both pieces are joined almost seamlessly. Here I have a little loop, I will cover it when I work it. So now we can go on working. So now we have made 45 rows of the base, 22 here. We can count like these pieces, like these stripes. We have here rows of half double crochets, and we finish with a row where we have only the single crochets. Let's count again. Here it's really easy. If you count pairs of rows by these half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, plus one more row of single crochets. So now we need to make the trimming for the upper part of the bag with single crochets and make several more additional rows of slip stitches. So like this going to be top here in a ready look, and and then we will have 2 more rows of slip stitches. We need this first of all to make the upper part of the bag look like complete, finished, and then it will be easier to sew the handles using these additional rows. So do not cut the thread, just turn it like this. So we were working like this, and now we turn 45 degrees and go on working into the next stitch a single crochet. Now between these two we insert the hook and make a single crochet and a single crochet here in the row where we have half double crochets, and a single crochet in the row where we have this single crochet. So like this we go on working. For each such stripe we will have 2 stitches. And so we go on working till the end of this row. 1, 2, 1, 2, Here you can see that last stitch will be here. Here I will make a joining slip stitch. I do not cut this free end for the time being. We will hide it when we'll be joining the side. So make a chain, turn your work. Now your wrong side is facing you. And we work in reverse direction, slip stitches into the back half loop like this. Skip the first, insert the hook into the second, and work slip stitches till the end of this row. Last stitch we make here into the last stitch, which was the first stitch on this row, the beginning of that row. So in total we have now 44 stitches. And again we make a chain, turn our work, skip the first, insert the hook into the second, and start making again slip stitches into the back half loop. Here you see I have slightly tightened it, so but don't worry, it's okay. When we will make wet heat, it will be absolutely okay. If you have some waves on the corners, don't worry. And I have finished the third row of slip stitches. Here I make the last one. I do not cut the thread, I just slightly make this loop bigger and cut it from the thread. I need 4 lengths, so I measure the length of the base, so and 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4 times measure the length and cut the thread. This we will put aside, but we will use it later for sewing the side to the base. You can make such a small knot here. Then it will be very handy to use it for sewing the side, so that we do not have to sew a new free end from a skein. And likewise on the other side. But now we need to take a new thread and make here 1 row of trimming, 1 row of slip stitches and 2 rows of slip stitches. So insert the hook and make a chain. So now we make a single crochet. Yeah, this is the row of single crochets, and then we make 2 rows of slip stitches. I attach it so that I have 2 stitches for each of the row. And for each such stitch I pierce through 2 half loops, like this. And this free end that I have here, I will just tie it as I go, work it into the stitch as I go. One, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. So till the end of this row. And we get 44 single crochets. Now I will make 44th. Here you see 1 more is lacking exactly. Try to insert it through some 2 half loops here and make the last single crochet. So, no, wait, I made it not into the right one. Yeah, here, so you don't have a hole at the end. So you have made 44 single crochets make a chain, turn your work, and then skip one into the next one, insert the hook and make slip stitches. So like this we go on working in reverse direction with slip stitches row. I have finished the trimming here, made 2 rows of slip stitches, and likewise, like we did it on the other side, we leave 4 lengths of thread and then cut it from the skein. So for the time being we will put it aside. And we start making the side. For this thread, for this bag, we are going to work starting from the middle. You see here we have a smaller top and wider bottom, and so that we can make it nice, we need to make the side first one side, then the other side, and then we will join it all together and make a trimming around it. So for the side we need to cast on 34 chains, and when we have cast on 34 stitches, skip one, insert the hook into the second and make 33 single crochets in each chain till the end of the row. So likewise, when we were starting our base, 1, 2, 3, and so on into the upper half loop. So you go on working till the end of this row. In each chain 1 single crochet. Now when you have finished this row, count again the amount of stitches, make sure it's right, make a chain, turn your work, and here we make likewise till the end of the row half double crochet. Start with the first here and make half double crochet, then one slip stitch, that is, and then again half double crochet, and like this we alternate our base pattern. Slip stitch and a half double crochet, so till the end of this row, and you will finish on the half double crochet, likewise we did when we were working the base of a bag. And we will get as a result, if we count these repeats, these half double crochets, we will get 17 half double crochets in a row. At the end of the row, in the last stitch, we will make a half double crochet. Count them again, like this. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17, exactly 17. Make a chain, and in the third row we will be making single crochets into the back half loop till the end of the row, starting with the first. And like this we need to make 30 single crochets. So let's count 1 into the back half loop, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So 30 ready. We have left 2 last repeats of these, and here at the end of this row we will make 4 slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, and fourth we will make into this last side half loop like this, 4. We have made it narrower, as you have noticed. Turn our work, and now we need to make a chain, and into the back half loop also make 1, 2, 3, let me see, 4 slip stitches. And now we starting with the next stitch, we start working our pattern. That was 17, so 15. We will be making 15 repeats of half double crochet and a single crochet. So you see that this end is narrower. We have made slip stitches here to make this end narrower, and now we made a wider part of it, and that's going to be our basic pattern. Half double crochet, then a slip stitch, then again a half double crochet and a slip stitch, and so on and so on. Half double crochet and a slip stitch, so that we get these two. We have kind of skipped, instead of stitches we have made slip stitches, thus we have made this end narrower. And then make sure again that these half double crochets will be one exactly above the others in the previous rows. So like this we go on working till the end of the row. The end of the row I have made a half double crochet. I now make a chain, turn the work, and now we need to make 24 stitches. So that will be, we will make less. We will make it like this. Let me see, I'll count again. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Yeah, 24 half double crochets into the back half loop. And so we start with the first stitch and we make single crochets. 3, 4, 5, 24 single crochets. Now till the end of the row we will be making slip stitches into the back half loop. 1, so we will get 10 in total. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th will be this one, into this last half loop that we have here. So a chain, turn our work, and in the reverse direction also make slip stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, yeah, 2, 3, 9, 10, and so starting from the next stitch we will already be working alternation of half double crochet and a slip stitch, so our basic pattern. So 1, 2, 3, we have skipped this again, made slip stitches. Let me see, yeah, that's right, we have made 10 slip stitches, 10 stitches in the reverse direction, and now starting with the next stitch, we alternate the half double crochet and a slip stitch. A half double crochet and then a slip stitch. Just check so that half double crochets are exactly above the half double crochets of the previous rows, so they are not shifted or anything. And so like this, you need to make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 repeats of half double crochet and the slip stitch alternated. So the first part is ready. Now we need to work on this side, and for this I will make a long loop, make a knot, cut it, cut this free end, and then I'll just hide it inside where you can sew it as we usually do. You can sew it as we hide the free ends, or you can just work it inside when you will be making the side seam. So now let's have a look. On this side we have made this part. Now we need to make it symmetrically on the other side, because first row we will be making half double crochets and slip stitches, and it is worked on the wrong side. So we need to start with a new free end. I will melt it with lighter just a little bit to stop it from fraying. Then take the hook. We will start on the wrong side, yeah, here. Make a chain, and starting from the first stitch we start making half double crochet alternated with the slip stitch, and so on, a half double crochet and a slip stitch. So it's better to tie the free end on this side, which is the wrong side. And so like this we need to make 17 till the end, 13 repeats till the end of the row. And so that you will get this half double crochets, one exactly above the other. So then when you have finished the slip stitch row, make a chain, turn your work, and starting with the first loop, make 4 slip stitches. First 2, 3, 4. Here we will start it, and here we will be starting with a narrower part, there we will finishing with a narrower part, but the narrower side of this is on one side of it. So, and then we will make 29 single crochets till the end of the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so till the end of this row. I have made it till the end of the row. Now I make a chain, and now I will be making 15 half double crochets and slip stitches. And repeat half double crochet, then a slip stitch, half double crochet, then a slip stitch, and so on and on. And at the end of the row again we will have slip stitches. We finish with half double crochet. and I have finished 15 half double crochet here. And now I finish this row with slip stitches into the back half loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let me see the 5th, whether we need it or not. Yeah, 5. Here into this half loop I will make 5 because it will make this edge straight. Turn the work, and now we need to make 10 slip stitches and then again finish it with half double crochets like we did on that side. First we skip, insert the hook in the second at once, and make make 1 slip stitch, 2 slip stitches, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 slip stitches ready till the end of the row. Now we go on working with single crochets into the back half loop. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 21, 22, 23. Make a chain, and again in reverse direction we make 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we work 12 repeats, half double crochet, slip stitch. Starting with the first loop, make a half double crochet, then a slip stitch, half double crochet, and then again a slip stitch. When you have made 12 repeats of half double crochet and a slip stitch, we finish the row with slip stitches to make this end narrower. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here already in this one we do not make the half loop, we make a chain and turn the work, and now we will make a trimming all around the side. But here pay attention, we are going to work with slip stitches here where we have slip stitches, and then here where we have a wider one we will be working with single crochets, yeah, to make it wider as well. So skip the first, insert the hook into the second and make 1 slip stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now single crochets till the end of this row. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then here into the corner we continue. 24 that was, and then let me see, 24. I think that here I will make one more into the corner to make a nice corner. Where we had 23, I will make 24 in the same opening, so that's an increase on the corner, and I go on working here between the rows of stitches. 26, 27, and 28. So here I'll be making a stitch here, 29, and then 30 here, 31st, and 32nd, 33rd, 34th, 35th. So here this knot that we were making when we were finishing this side, now we can undo it now and hide it behind the stitches. So insert like this needle, this free end, and just you see I pierce it through, hide it behind stitches inside. That's it. $35. Now into the corner on this side we will make as well 36 stitch, just I'll take a smaller hook because it's difficult to get into it with this hook. I need to insert into these two last stitches 36 that is, and 37. Yeah, so and now we will continue working on this side. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and here I think we can just continue working slip stitches here, like this. 60, yeah, 60 I will make it here, and here we start making slip stitches into the back half loop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then here we also will make a trimming with single crochets. So insert the hook here into this side, make 1, second, the third, fourth, fifth, in the center 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. You see here at once I can hide this free end into this row. And so that's it. Now we need to pull this loop and make a false slip stitch into the last one, into the first one, that is of the previous row, the row that we have started in the row. And we come back exactly where we have just started, here. For this we insert the hook from the inside into this loop. That's it. Now the side is ready and trimmed. You see that it looks nice, symmetrical now. It looks really good. So hide the free end here and make the second just like this one, just likewise. So we have made a base and we have made 2 side pieces. Now at this stage we need to sew in the canvas. So the canvas will be sewn in here in the middle. We need to measure the amount that will be the width of the bottom, and so then with the same cord we will sew it just along the contour. So how to find the right width for the canvas? It should be approximately like the side, but a little bit wider. So this side is, let's say, 10.5. Okay, let's say 11 centimeters will do. So I will cut 11 centimeters from this canvas. It's plastic canvas. Now I will cut it like this. And cut so that you have a whole rectangle, so that you can use insert your needle into it. And so now the length of this bottom will be, let's have a look. I'm going to sew it into this line, which means that here on this side, let's have a look, and then here we need to cut it. Measure your base. So you make sure that you have a little bit excess of the base, because you don't want to sew it exactly on the side. You will have to sew the side here. So I have a piece 11 to 30.5 centimeters. So now we need to fix it and to make it in the center. So we need to measure our base to find the center. Measure it with your measuring tape so that it has the same distance on both sides. Here, for example, I will make 25.5, let's say, on one side. Yeah, I will fix it in place with a pin like this. Okay, and on this side, let's measure how much we get. Yeah, also 25.5, so that's okay. It's exactly in the center. And now with some sewing pins, I will attach it here to make sure it remains in place. When I'll be sewing, I don't want it to shift, neither here nor there. I want it to be exactly in place. So now, and then here it will be 25.5 centimeters and 5 millimeters, that is 25 centimeters and 5 millimeters. Yeah, that's okay. Now we can start sewing when you have found a place for it, right place for it, and then you can start sewing it. And also, and here, by the way, you can also check how it is according to the pattern on the outside. So you can insert, for example, several markers and then turn it to the right side and have a look how it's fitting the pattern. Yeah, so where this is going to be. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 repeats, and here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, so I see that on this side I have 18 repeats and on that side I have 17 repeats, which means that I need to shift it a little bit to the right so that I have exactly the same. Just a little bit, maybe half centimeter. measure again. "26" on this side and 25.5 on this side, but on the other hand, according to the pattern, and you know, this base can be stretched a little bit, so it's better to count the amount of stitches than centimeters, because sometimes it can be a little bit stretchy. So now it will be exactly in the center. Here I will have 34, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and like this I have counted at 40 or 34, and here also I have counted these stitches. So now we need to pin it in place. Also you need to make sure that it is a straight line according to the row, so it's not at an angle, not tilted somehow. So straight perpendicular to the side of this page. You can follow the row, make sure, yeah, you see that. Yeah, follow this line and then this line. Like this. On the other side. Likewise, follow this line. Like this. And attach it. Like this, and likewise on the other side. Let's have a look. Here in this row we adjust it so that it is straight. On this side as well. And then we insert a cord into a darning needle. Perhaps I will use a metal one, because here we have a smaller openings, so it will be easier to work with a thinner one. And here we can start anywhere where it's easy for you to start sewing canvas to the base. We are going to sew it by piercing it through, and due to the fact that we are using this cord, the same material which the base is made of, it will not be visible where we have made our stitches. Now pull this cord outside and return it then inside. Sometimes it's difficult to pull it through, yeah, but nevertheless, this canvas with small openings, it's quite dense, and so it will make a nice and kind of thick bottom for the bag. You don't have to make small stitches here. Here you can make bigger, slightly bigger stitches, so that you have to make less stitches. Just use some tool like this one to help you pierce it through if it's difficult for you. And so we sew it along the whole contour. Now you see I have made these seams along all the contour of this plastic canvas. And so that now I saw that the cord started fraying, so I pulled at it, and here I have melted it slightly so that it stops fraying, and then I went on sewing it just like I have undone it, and it's easier to use it, to sew it. It's easier to pierce it through the openings when you have frayed, when you have not the cord but just the material. So now we need to cut the ends, make a knot, and cut the free ends, the threads. I'll adjust it somewhere here into one of the next stitches, one of the stitches next to it, and so sew it through. Make a little knot, then hide it through several stitches and cut the thread. And likewise I will hide the free end that we have left at the beginning. And now this free end where we have started, likewise I make a knot, hide it slightly behind the stitches and cut the thread. That's it, that's ready. So at this stage, but before we start sewing the sides, I recommend you to sew in the lining. If you are going to sew in the lining, I recommend you to do it now. Here you have several options. You can either sew it onto the whole bag, or you can sew the lining only here to this plastic canvas, so that you cover the plastic canvas. Why now? Because when you have sewn the sides, it will be a little bit difficult. The sides are narrower towards this edge, so if you are sewing this after you have already sewn the sides, there will be also a zipper, it will stand in your way and it will be difficult for you to sew in the lining. So this bag can be functional without lining, but if you want to make a lining, I recommend you to make the lining now, because this way it will just be easier for you. You just need to cut a rectangle of fabric for lining, the same length, and just sew it along the contour of the bag. You leave the upper part where you are going to sew the lining, and likewise you just sew along the contour, but you leave the very last stitch because we'll use them for sewing pieces together, so you make it slightly smaller than the piece itself. Or, as I have already said, you can cut a rectangle and make a lining only for this plastic bottom. Then you will just get such a bottom with lining, and all the rest of the bag will be without lining, which is also a good idea. So now I need to cut a rectangle. Your size may be different, so you measure your bag. I have 61 centimeter length and let me see, 31 in width, so 61 to 31. Also add 1 centimeter on each side for the fold, for the seam. That will make it 33 the width and 63 the length. Rectangle I have already cut. You can also make a pocket if you like. If you want, you can make a pocket, let's say for the mobile phone. And so the width of the pocket will be, I'll measure my mobile phone about 20 centimeters. Yeah, so it's easy to take it out and hide. 20 plus 18 centimeters. 22 centimeters in height, because we are going to fold the pocket 2 times. Mark it here. To make it thicker, we'll fold the fabric for the pocket like this. 22 to 20 centimeters as the pocket. So cut it. One more rectangle for the pocket. We also need to cut pieces of fabric for the sides for the lining. So put it onto the fabric like this. And then trace it. I will also leave a little bit, because here it's not going to be as wide as the side. It's going to be a little bit narrower because we leave 1 row for sewing into the bag. So I will leave a ½ centimeter here for seam allowance, so to say, and trace it along the contour like this, and then cut it. Here on top as well. Now we can cut it out and do the second one the same, so that you cut the same one. I just put this one on piece of fabric, pin it in place with some pins, and then cut it following this like a template. Like this. You can cut it just following this line carefully. And now all the pieces we need to iron really well. The pocket I will fold like this and make 2 seams here on the sides. The 2 sides. And then all the details I iron. So here we make 2 seams on the pocket. Then this rectangle we fold leaving this 1 centimeter on each side, and also make this seam on all 4 sides. We make such a fold and make a seam. And likewise with the sides, we need to fold this 1 centimeter that we left for the seam allowance. We can iron it. You can fold it and then iron it. It will make it easier to sew it. Then all these pieces that will be ready, we will sew onto the back. When you have made pockets, seams for the pocket, we need to turn it inside out through the 3rd side and carefully iron it to make sure that the sides of the pocket will be nice and straight. And then we fold it here. This is going to be the bottom of a pocket, and like this we will already take it and sew it to the back. So now we take our base. As you see, I have already folded and pressed it all with iron. Let's move it like this towards one of the upper parts. We put the pocket like this, where you want the pocket to be, so that you have the same distances on the right and on the left. And then fix it in place with some sewing pins. That's so that it's easier to sew it using sewing machine or by hand. So our lining is almost ready. Now we need just to sew it into the bag. I have made all the seams along the contour and the pieces for the sides as well. This we have all prepared for sewing it into the bag. Now we need first to pin it onto the knitted base and then sew it. On the side we place it like this. Here I recommend you to skip a little bit on top, because here on top you are going to insert some accessories, maybe some lobster clasps or carabiners or something, where we are going to attach the long shoulder strap, if you are going to attach it. So for this piece I have chosen small lobster clasps that will be, as the sides going to be like this, and then these lobster clasps will be attached here into the upper part. But if you want to sew it so that the lobster clasps aren't visible, I recommend you to sew them on this side, on the inside, because on the outside it will not it will not allow it to fold. So here on this side you can sew them in and then sew the lining. That is if you want it. If you want to sew these half rings using the same cord, just fix them in place and then you can sew the lining on top of these lobster clasps. But if you are going to use lobster clasps that you can take off, then you can attach them at the very end. Or maybe you want to make this bag without a long handle, then it's not an issue for you. Now we place this lining on top of the knitted base, fix it in place where it's going to be, make sure it's all nice and straight, and then we will sew it with an invisible seam along the contour. My sewing machine isn't capable of sewing this knitted piece together with the fabric, but if you have some professional one, or you can go to the atelier, they have such sewing machines that can sew thick fabrics. I will have to sew it by hand. if you can change the distance between the needle and the machine, yeah, so then you can sew it using your sewing machine. This is the easier way, of course, on one side and then on the other side. So pin it on the other side as well, and then I will show you how to fix the lining on the base. Here it's actually the same. You understand that we put it on top of the knitted fabric, and I will insert on top and bottom to stretch it a little bit. So on one side and now on the other side as well. I slightly fold it like this because it's going to be folded, so you have to bear in mind that the lining will also be folded. You don't have to make this part too long. Better make it shorter, but have some for the bottom. And this way you will not achieve the creases when you fold the bag. So several ones here. And now you can start pinning it in place on the sides as well. And now we can start sewing the lining to the back. We take some thread and matching color matching the lining, and which we have used for sewing it. And so we need first to hide this knot. And we make a stitch into the top of the lining, approximately 2 to 3 millimeters, and a stitch into the knitted fabric. And then one stitch into the lining. I'll take off this pin so that you can see into the top, and horizontal stitch like this, tiny horizontal stitch, and in the same area a stitch into the knitted fabric. Again, one little stitch into the top of the lining, and a stitch into the knitted fabric. And so like this, we are sewing it so that we can't even see, yeah? Have a look, you can't even see where it was sewn to the fabric, because I have a color of thread matching to the color of lining. It's matching both the cord and the lining. If you have a lining in different color, not the color of the cord, then you need to hide it, make this a little bit deeper, make the stitch just a little bit deeper under the stitch, yeah, under this line of stitches, so that they are not very visible. But if you tighten it well, then the thread will not be visible, and so you go on working along the perimeter. Now I have sewn the lining to the base and to the sides, like this. That's how it looks. Here on the base as well, I have sewn the pocket. So now we can start sewing the sides like this. The bottom will create such a stiff bottom and the bag will stand nicely. So we have only to sew the sides, and then we'll be sewing in the lining and accessories. So I have counted so that the amount of stitches here, starting with the very first one stitch of the trimming, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 here on this side and 10 on this side, starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it will be 90 stitches all along, 90 stitches. You might have slightly different number, but more or less it will be about 90 if you were following the same pattern and you were making the trimming. We were not counting stitches for the trimming, so I didn't tell you the exact number of stitches. That's why it might be slightly different, but more or less it will be the same. Here the amount of stitches on the side, a full amount, is also 90, but we need to leave this open space, at least 3 stitches in the middle, so that we can sew in the zipper then and fold this side. Here we will insert the lobster clasp if you are going to attach a long shoulder strap. So skip 3 stitches in the center here and insert knitted markers. Turn the bag so that the right side is facing you, find the middle. At the middle we will also insert a marker, and then we will attach a sides, also the center of the sides to the center of the base, so that it's all centered and the amount of stitches is okay. So here we need to find the middle. You can count it by the number of these half double crochets and find the middle. In total we have 43. Starting from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22. Into the 22nd I'll insert the marker. It is our center. So 22 is the center. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 20, 22 here. So we have found the center here. We need also to find center on the side. This one. Yeah, here we have 2 loops on the center. So you can choose any. And so we attach it to the center of the side. Here and here as well. So, and you can also insert markers here onto the edges, for example. So we will be joining it with stitches And at once we will adjust number of stitches. If we need to skip one on the side, we can do this. So fold it now like this. Here we already have some thread. So I will return the last slip stitch here that skipped, and then we'll be joining it together, starting with the marker. Insert the hook here where the marker is. I'll take off the marker and insert it into the back half loop, not under both, only into the back half loop. Note this, and pull the working thread, pull it like this to this side, to the front side. Then take the next half loop and the half loop on this side. Pull the thread and insert it into the loop. Then again, the half loop of the base and half loop of the side, and pull a slip stitch. And so like this, we need, on one side we have the trimming, which was our first row, and here we have such a braid that's actually not the whole braid. We'll have to insert it into the back half loop so that this nice chain on the front part remains. And here we have a full, because it is the end of our work, and here we will work into this one, upper half loop, so that this nice chain remains on the front side. Adjust it into the back half loop of the base, back half loop of the side, and make a slip stitch. Again, back half loop of the base and back half loop of the side. I will just undo what we have left here. Again, attached it into the back half loop of the base and the side. So we go on working. We try to make this braid so that the chains of this braid are the same. We can achieve this if we try to make the same gauge, so don't make them one longer, other shorter, because it's going to be decorative at the same time as joining these pieces together. It also looks like a decorative seam on the side. And so we go on working to the back half loop of the base and the back half loop of the side, so we go working till the next corner, till the bottom of the bag. into each half loop we make a slip stitch, and then we will meet when you have come to the corner. So we have reached the corner, and here we have such a situation that we have slightly more stitches on the base than on the side. So how we can fix this? We will skip several stitches. For example, I see that this next stitch with a marker will be this one, whereas on the side of the base I have two. So I skip one. Just wait, I will undo this. I will insert it into, I skip one, insert it into the next, you see? And so like this, I'll make a decrease and then insert it into the stitch on the side and make my slip stitch. It will not be visible at all that I have skipped one stitch. Yeah, by the way, I will take off the marker. I'll first insert the hook to secure it. And now the amount of stitches on one and the other side will be more or less the same. And then have a look. We have 4 on the side and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the base. So here everything is okay. We can just go on making slip stitches. We have skipped already several, so we now have the amount of stitches that is right. And so we can go on working into every stitch that we see. Take off the next marker and again make half loops, 2 half loops, make 1 slip stitch. So here let's have a look how many we have. 4, 5, and on this side 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So exactly the same, everything is okay. I can continue just making slip stitches. So and now go on working till the next corner. On the corner we will also skip 1 or 2 stitches so that we make it the same number of stitches on both sides. So we have skipped it on the other side, so we'll have to skip it on this side as well. Here, for example, we could skip 1, I think so, and then the next one, likewise, or do not skip it. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll skip 1. Yeah, I'll skip 1. Better skip 1, then count again how many do we have till the end on the side and on the base. When we will start joining the other part. So now I will make several more stitches and then I will count. I'll count and make a decision whether I need to skip some more or I don't. Now into each stitch. And somewhere here we will stop and count. So now let's count the amount of stitches till the end to make sure that it's the same. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 29, including this one where the marker is, 29 stitches. And now let's count on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 20. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Here, slightly diagonal here. Okay, so the amount of stitches is the same, so I can just continue working. Here at the very end I will see whether I need to make one more stitch or not make it. So just go on making stitches without skipping. And now when I have reached almost reached this end, like this, 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, like this, and then one, here a second, I'm going to use it inside the second, the third, and here also. Let's have a look how it goes on this side. Yeah, and perhaps the fourth, this one. So here it's up to you. Just make sure that it looks nice, make sure that the stitches are matching. So here you choose which loops you join, everything for the nice result. And 4, yeah, that's it, that's ready. And now you have to evaluate it visually, whether you like that it looks nice, whether the middle of a side is still in the middle. Yeah, here everything also looks quite nice. So now I can again, if you have a lot of leftovers, a lot of cord, you can leave it. We will, so that you can later use it, pull it here and then sew the zipper with it. But if you don't have a lot of leftovers, you can now cut it, hide it, and then use it for the next. I don't have enough of this cord, so I have joined it. When I was sewing this side, I ran out of the cord. I have joined it. That's why now I have a big skein on the other end of this cord. So I will just leave enough for sewing in the zipper, and I will melt this end to stop it from fraying. The zipper will start approximately here. So we can pull this loop, insert a darning needle, and just go on the inside of the bag. And we'll just pull it slightly closer to the center. Now let me just perhaps maybe here. Like this, to hide this loop. And then let's have a look on the other side. Maybe like this. and I'll pull this cord between the stitches closer to the center. So 3 to 4 centimeters, that will do, just need to pull it through. I will leave this thread for the time being, and then I will see whether I need it, where we will start sewing the zipper. So now we need to sew in the other side. Likewise, we need to join it to the base. And so likewise, I first put the markers, 3 stitches in the center we will leave here. 1, 2, 3. And on the bottom we mark 22nd stitch here in the middle, 22nd half double crochet, I mean, in the center. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 1, 2, 22, and we join it to the middle of the side. So then we can mark this row from the other side, follow this till this side, so that it is symmetrical. Of course, it should be the same. Mark it here. Where this transition from side to the bottom will happen. And likewise on this side. So let's follow this line where the bottom and the side will end. Like this. And now we can start joining it together. Here everything is clear, so I will go together till we make the bottom, where it is a little bit more difficult. So here we start as we did it on the other side, just all the same. We will attach it here, insert the hook where the marker is, and then make the first stitch, slip stitch here, then it comes here, and then into the back half loop on the base and back half loop on the side. And so like this we go till the next turn where we start the bottom. And when we have reached the corner again, for the time being I have the same amount of stitches on both sides, so I see that I don't have to skip anything, or I'll take this marker off And here we make a turn, and so I go on joining it with slip stitches. That's already the bottom and the base. And here I will have to skip one because I see that on this side I have one stitch more than on the other side. Here again 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have to skip one. But first I want to make sure that this row where the bottom ends and the side, so whether it is okay. Let's have a look. Here I have a turn and here I have a turn, and I need to see whether it is, because somehow, yeah, it looks like it is symmetrical. Okay, so like can continue. So then here I will skip one more on the base, one more stitch on the base. I have this thread that comes from the lining and it stands in my way, so I'll cut it. And then I can go on working. Here where the marker is, I will also skip one. And so we go on, joining with the slip stitches. Here I have lost one. I have lost a marker, so I have to return it. I need to find again this line, this row along which one I will have a transition from the bottom again to the other side. And here again I will skip one stitch on the bottom, because on the side I have one stitch less than on the bottom. So I have to skip one, insert the hook in the next one, and like this make a little decrease here. One, two, 3, and here already I will have a turn, I will have a corner and marker. So now I want to show you a close-up so that you can see it on the camera. Here we have this turn, here and here I had a marker, so insert the hook here where the marker was, and I insert it into the corner stitch and turn it, and likewise, like we did on the other side, you can count the stitches on this side and on this side, and then decide whether you need to skip some stitches. Now, how to join the leather accessories? First of all, I recommend you to insert the handles, then to sew in the zipper, and then the side straps. The handles I will insert here where the 5, 6, yeah, into the 6 stitch here, approximately. They will be inside, of course. I just want to show you where they're going to be. Here where the 6 stripe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this bag, in the bag that I made first, they were a little bit closer, but then I decided that's not very handy because sometimes it's difficult to get into the bag. So perhaps I will make it a little bit wider. I'm going to join the handles to adjust the handles with the same cord I used for sewing this bag, for making this bag I mean, and the plastic needle. I will sew them like this inside the bag. I prefer when they are inside the bag and they are kind of a little bit sticking out of the zipper. So insert the cord into the needle. I'll show you from the inside. I have marked with knitting markers the places where I want to insert the handle. We're going to sew the zipper here along this line in the center. So the handle I will sew into this second half loop so that I have enough place for sewing in the zipper. And so we insert the needle here. And leave such a small end. We will hide it later. And so here we insert the needle and return it back into the stitch where we have started, into the very same stitch. Again, into this metal frame and return it into the next stitch. Tighten it here, make a step into the next stitch. And advance through the frame. Again, make a stitch and through the frame. So in each stitch we insert 2 times. We make 2 stitches into each next half loop. And like this we tie this frame to the bag, into the next one. Make 1. And 1 more in the same half loop, the second stitch. And likewise, the last stitch, also make 2 turns. And again into the same stitch. Now this will look really nice and neat. It is strong so that the handles will stay in place. On the right side it looks like this, as if it is sewn to the inside of the bag. I like this effect. And now we need to hide this free end also inside. First into the next stitch, and then you can either pull it through several stitches and then cut, and you can melt it with lighter, or you can sew it with some needle and thread in matching color. If you want to melt it and then press it, it's better to do this, because here on top will be the zipper, it will be covered, it won't be visible at all. Here we need to pull it through several stitches, through several loops. Just make sure it will hold in place nicely. cut the end like this, and then carefully melt it with lighter. Be careful, don't burn the lining, don't burn the bag, just like this. Carefully burn it slightly and press it at once, this free end. And likewise with this end, you can either sew it or just melt it, press it into place. Likewise, we find a place for the other side of this handle. Skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stripes between 7 and 6. I have inserted markers, so here I'll be sewing the other handle. And again, I'm using the same cord and plastic darning needle. Likewise here, insert the needle under this half loops. Where do we start? Yeah, here. Starting with this half loop. You can at once start somewhere here so that you have already pushed it through several stitches, so you don't have to push it through several stitches. And then when you're hiding the free end, will be easier. The free end here will leave, and now in each half loop we make 2 loops, 2 stitches. Like this one. And the second. First and the second. Yeah, that was already the second, so next stitch will be the first. And make 1 and the second one into the same loop. And 1 again, 2. So like this, we sew handles on the other side. The last stitch, the 4th loop, that is, last 2 stitches in this 4th loop. 1, 2, and hide the ends. Pull them through several stitches and then cut it and melt it or sew it, whatever method you are using. So the handles are ready, and now we can start sewing in the zipper. I have a smaller zipper than the opening, but the zipper itself is bigger than this leather piece, so I wanna place it slightly shifted like this towards this side. So here where I have this tag here, I prefer it to end like this, where I have this fold of the side inside. I think that will do. As you can see, the zipper has here such leather piece, where you have special openings for the hook. And so I insert this free end that I have left when I was working on the other side. I insert it into the darning needle and start sewing the lining just using this cord. It's really quick and easy way of sewing in the zipper. So let's say maybe one more, just a bit. You can place it as you like it, straight in the center or shift it to one side. In the center it will be like this, so that it is symmetrical, and then you'll have to hide this end of the zipper. Or you can shift it like this. It will also look nice visually. So I will pull this working thread into the first opening. And now insert it into the opening onto the zipper here between the upper braid and the second braid. Pierce the needle like this. Tighten it well, make a stitch into the outside, into the right side, and then pierce it into the next opening of the zipper, of the leather part, that is. Then make one more stitch from the wrong side to the right side. Again between the first and the second braids. And we make a stitch to the outside. Here, as you can see, we already have this metal frame, and then pull this thread into the next opening of the zipper. I have pierced through the cord, so I have to undo it. You see, sometimes it's difficult. Try not to pierce the cord in the middle. Like this. Let's make it a little bit different. Let's have a look inside. Oh, it was something. Yeah, I managed. Next stitch and pull it from the right side. And so like this between the first and the second braids we go on. Tighten it from time to time to make sure it's all nice and straight, no holes, openings, and then back to the wrong side and so on. And so we go on working till the end of the zipper. I make the last stitch on this side into the zipper and pull this inside. On the inside here we'll just cut this free end and sew it to the base. Here I will sew it so that it looks nice. So now we need to sew the other side of the zipper. And for this, we need to open it. Open the zipper. Insert the needle into the other piece of cord that we have left on the other side, or you can take a new one. And so here we need to place the zipper symmetrically to the one on the other side. Here is very important. When we sew it, you need to close it, you need it to be symmetrical. So here find a place exactly opposite the other side. So I will now make a stitch and between first and the second. And so you make outside a stitch towards the inside at once into the first opening. Then the second, and so on, just like we did on the other side. Now we will make several stitches, then give it a try. Make sure that the zipper will be working okay, whether it is symmetrical. I make a stitch and tighten it after each stitch to make sure that the cord is tight. So I see that now I can close it and open, so for the time being everything is okay. And you also need to mark it on this side where this zipper will end, because it will end exactly as on the other side to make it symmetrical. Insert marker or insert a sewing pin or something here to make sure that you will not shift it. It will be easier for you when you'll be sewing it along. You will know that it has to end here. You see, exactly matching the maybe even two pins. I see that one will not hold it. So, and then go on working, making a stitch into each opening. Make stitches outside and inside. If you want to make a little bit different, if you want to make a stitch like this, like I did it on this bag, you see I have made a stitch into each opening with a back stitch, or like this. You can now, when you have made the first stitch, you can make a reverse stitch with the same stitches, but now you will be covering these holes between this distances between the holes that you haven't yet. So I have already sewn in the lining, the zipper that is, and now we need to adjust the leather straps. So I will be sewing them. I have already buckled it into the last opening here. and I'll skip 1, 2, 3 onto the fourth, on the level of the fourth, and here also 1, 2, 3, and where the fourth, 1, 2, 3 on the fourth. Here, just tighten it a little bit. Here you can sew it. If you fill something into the bag, you can then make this bigger, make a bigger distance, more to get more space in the bag. Or you can make it like this. Here it's up to you how much space do you want to have on the side. You can make it higher, or I don't know, maybe lower. So it's up to you how you like to adjust the side straps. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I prefer to make it on the fourth stitch level. I'll take some thread. I got this thread from the same cord. I have just undone this, and I'm going to use this material, this thread that I get from the same cord, to sew it. So how to sew these leather straps onto the side of the bag? So first of all, I have closed it here already into the last opening. Like this it will look nicer, I think. It's how the bag looks when it is not full. And so I sew it to the 1, 2, 3, 4 level on the fourth stitch, on the fourth half double crochet, yeah, fourth bump, so to say, and here also 3, and on the fourth you sew it. So I have made kind of rectangle, or rather a square on the corner, and I sew it. If you want to add more things inside the bag, you can just open it to make it longer, and you will have more space inside. You can sew it with a cord, or like this, you can, if you have the cord in the same color as the leather, it's really easy, because you will make just several stitches like a crisscross. I have slightly different color of cord, so I'm going to use the mono thread. It's a transparent thread. You can buy it for beading, for example, or something like this. It's a transparent thread. I have 0.2 millimeters diameter. You can use a thicker one. I fold it in 2 strands. And so I'll put it here. Fix it first somewhere into the knitted fabric, and then through the opening on the strap. Make a crisscross, so make a cross from one opening diagonal into the other, and at once get, as you cannot pierce it through, we have already inserted the lining, yeah, so we have to pierce it so that the needle comes out into another opening at once without piercing through the lining. It's a little bit difficult to work with this thread. Nevertheless, now insert it again into the diagonal here. It was easier to sew it with a cord, I must admit. But here I don't have the matching color, so I'll have to use this transparent thread. I don't know, maybe this is better, maybe not. Perhaps I will sew it one and then make a crisscross, yeah. And now I can cut it. I'll make a knot, of course, somewhere here under this strap. Make a knot and then cut it. And now on the other side as well, insert, make 4 onto the 4th here, onto the 4th here. Take some thread. And likewise sew it to the other side. So now how to attach the carabiner ring or a lobster clasp if you have one. So here I have such a round one. You can open it like this. It's a little bit difficult, yeah, especially if you have long nails like I do. So I have to open this carabiner ring, and as you fold the inside of, you need to pick it through edge stitch, the last stitch here, and then you go through it, and yeah, really difficult now to pierce it through the other. Yeah, you see, you have kind of folded it with a carabiner ring, and here you will attach the shoulder strap. Likewise on the other side, fold the side, attach this carabiner ring, and it is exactly nice for the zipper. It will not be visible how it is adjusted if we attach it like this. So it's not nice when you adjust it just on the side. It's better to fold the side like this, to make such a fold, and then insert it into the fold, which will allow to hide this ring, to make it a little bit hidden, not that obvious that it is there. Like this. So our bag is ready. Finally, we have sewn the straps and zipper, and everything is ready now. This is the finished look. I'm sure that your bags will turn out even better than mine. So please share your works with me. I'll be very happy to see them on social media. Tag me on photos or videos. Thank you for choosing my masterclasses, and see you in our new lessons. See you. Bye.